Hey, Vegan Freaks, it's Monday, April 3rd. This is podcast number 32.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Bob.
And Jenna.
And greetings from the land of animal excretions.
Oh yeah, it's been a fun day.
Yeah. Well, we are a little crazy today. We normally were going to come at you with... we had planned a Cooking with Dino segment, and we had to put it off over the weekend because I was busy grading. And then today we had to put it off as well. So we're going to have Dino on next week on the show.
Yeah. And
we still have Sarah Kramer out there somewhere coming. I just... lost track of scheduling with her and all kinds of other shit went down. My bad. I don't know, I'm crazy.
Yep.
So we got some show for you today though.
Yeah.
As usual.
We do. It's going to be a big voicemail email show pretty much.
Well, not only that.
Not only that, but we got some other things.
Yep. So where are we going to go?
We got some shout outs to give.
Okay, but I still have donator shout outs to get to. I know saying the word donator bothers some people. I know someone wrote to me and complained that they don't like the word donator. And so I looked it up in the OED, and donator has been in common use in English since the 1400s. So, I don't feel too bad using it.
Okay.
So anyway, I have donor, whatever they are, shout-outs to do, but I need to get all of those together and do them next week.
Okay.
Because I have just been too crazy to actually print out all the emails and everything sorted together, because I have 8 gazillion mother pumping emails.
But we do have one feedback from one donator who said, Jennifer says that everyone should become donators just to hear the subscriber podcast. They are excellent. They are well worth the $4 a month. Keep up the good work.
Wow, cool.
Cool.
Well, we're happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And I agree. The donator podcasts themselves are worth $4 a month.
There you go.
I don't know. If you're interested in what it's like to live in the middle of nowhere, maybe they are worth the $4 a month. We talk about all kinds of things on those, though.
Yeah.
And you can still subscribe at our website. We can still use a few more subscribers. We always could to help kind of deal with some of the equipment bills we now have. So you can go over there to podcast.veganfreak.com and sign up. And for $4 a month, you get access to the super ultra secret special subscriber podcast.
Mm-hmm. And you get a button if you send our address.
That's right. And your address actually works because we get some of them returned. For whatever reason.
Yeah, we just got one returned.
So
yeah.
All right, so we do have one shout out to do this week, though. What? What are you pointing at?
So you could do the shout out.
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay, I just want to make sure you saw it. That's all.
Well, I never know if you're like making gestures to me. I'm doing something wrong.
No.
We do have one shout out this week, though, and this one is to Anna Mac. So we need to say hi to Anna Mac, and that's about all. We just want to rock our world. So
yeah, right.
We're hoping to rock it.
I also need to say hi to Jeannie. Jeannie was one person who sent us the link to the mention in the New York Times.
Ah, cool.
And she wanted us to mention that she has a grassroots vegan organization in Chico, California, and it's vegchico.com. So check it out if you're in the area.
Okay. And again, those of you who donated, we will get to your shout-outs, we promise. We're just a little behind the curve here, as usual. We're getting there, though.
Yeah.
I think eventually, soon, we're going to need to take a week off and just catch up on everything. No,
Probably.
seriously, I think it's going to have to come at some point soon. Just take the time to really catch up and get completely caught up on everything Vegan Freak related. So, wow. All right, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, so let's keep moving here before I get too spacey.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons we're overwhelmed this week is because Eric Marcus is coming to our university to give a talk.
He is indeed.
You invited him.
Yeah.
For your class. I
was able to get some money through the university to bring Eric to come to my animal rights class and to give a talk at the university. He came last year. He had probably about 100 people turn out. And he's coming this year to do the same thing and talk to the class about animal rights issues and things like that. So
yeah, and he made a big announcement this week that he's giving up podcasting every week.
Well, at least for the time being. Right, for the next couple months.
Yeah, and so he's going to have short segments from now on.
He's going to do short segments every so often, and we probably will run some of those on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not entirely sure of that, but we kind of talked with him about that briefly, and so we may end up running some Eric Marcus segments here and there on the show. But he wants to do really brief, really well-produced, kind of thorough, really tight segments, and we'll be happy to run them.
Yeah. So we're sad to see his podcast go, but we're glad he's still going to be doing the short segments.
Yeah, well, he's been podcasting for a very long time.
Yeah, he's the vegan podcasting pioneer.
He is the pioneer, and he's not just a vegan podcasting pioneer. He's just a podcasting pioneer.
This is true.
He's one
in general.
One of the first people out there to do it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool that he was one of the first people, but not cool that he's leaving the air. So, so I don't know. What now?
Well, the other reason we're kind of crazy is we mentioned at the top of the show that it's been an interesting day with the companion animals.
It's been a rough day.
Yeah.
Here it is. I was hoping to have started this podcast much earlier today, and it's almost 7:00 p.m., and we're just beginning this thing. And it's because, as many of you know who were listening to the show last week, we got a new dog, right, from the pound. And we had to take her in to have her neutered.
Yes, so she made the appointment to get her spayed. So the day
spayed. I always get mixed up.
We mostly have male animals, so
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so the day started off with cat puking. Start there.
I forgot about that. Right
at 6:30 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning. Yeah,
he had a hairball.
I knew he was going to puke though, because when our cat gets ready to puke a lot, he's usually in our bed, and when he's getting ready he's not feeling well, he'll move around a lot. So he'll walk from from me to Jenna, to me to Jenna, to food, to me to Jenna, to me to Jenna, off the bed, on the bed, off the bed, on the bed. Like, I know he's not feeling well when he does that. And so I felt him doing that this morning in 6:30ish or so, and then all of a sudden, I'm laying in bed here.
Ew. Gross.
Sorry. Well, that's what it sounds like.
Yes, it does. I had to quick push him off the bed so he didn't puke on the bed.
Yeah. So our day began with that. At 6:30.
Yeah, so we had to get up extra early to take Emmy, our dog, to get her to the vet so she could get spayed.
So she had to be at the vet early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we dropped her off at the vet and came home, and Mole was still here and Michi was still here. And that was fine. Then we went to work, and I taught 2 classes, pulled 2 classes out of my butt. And because I was busy yesterday doing a bunch of stuff. I mean, I was doing work yesterday, but I was grading instead of preparing for class. And anyway, so I went in and did these 2 classes, and then we came home, ate some lunch, and then went back to get Emmy. But when we went back to get Emmy, we had to take our cat in too.
Yeah, he needed his shots in a checkup.
And our cat doesn't travel well.
No, most cats I don't think travel well. So.
No. I mean, it's to the point where we have his little cat carrier, and we have to hide it. And we had to hide it from him. He was sleeping so soundly on Jenna's chair, and I just ran in with the cat carrier and grabbed him, boom, threw him in it and shut the door. And he was all right for a little while. We got him in the car, and he started, wow, wow, wow. His constant, oh no, I got the dog all excited. Oh, I just got dog nose right in the doolies. Oh, he came over and jammed his nose right into my nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway, as we were listening to the cat meow like crazy, and he's in his cat carrier in the back seat, I'm sitting there going, at least our cat's not that bad. At least, I mean, some people have told me that, cats empty their anal sacs and everything on their way to drive. And all of a sudden we smell something.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And I'm like,
I know. It's like, oh, God.
I'm like, is the cat farting?
Oh, I was like, no, that's way too bad for a fart.
So we got to the vets, and the cat had taken a dump in his carrier.
Well, he was nervous and stressed out, and he took a shit in his carrier.
Yeah.
So we get in the vet's office, and they take him out of his carrier, and I was like, he went in there, and they go looking, ooh, yeah, he did, didn't he? So the cat's all full of poop. And he's on this table, and there's poop all over him, and the vet goes, you're going to have to give the cat a bath.
Yeah.
And I look at Jenna, and he goes, oh, you've never given the cat a bath? No, we never give the cat a bath.
What the hell? Are we going to lose our arms or what?
Yeah, the cat never goes, he never goes outside. Mm-mm. So he never usually needs a bath, and he takes care of himself and all that. So anyway, they take care of the cat, they clean him up a little bit, get him in some good shape, stick a thermometer up his butt.
Yeah, and he did empty his anal sacs, in addition to taking a shit in the carrier.
Yum. So they cleaned the shit out of the carrier. They cleaned him up a little bit, but we had to clean him up at home. And in addition to that, he got some shots, and he's never real fond of having shots or thermometers stuck up his butt.
Well, who would be?
Hey, man. Whatever, right? Some people are into this shit.
Well, yeah, okay.
Anyway, they stuck a thermometer up his butt, gave him shots, and then, his teeth are kind of grody, because he's not old cat, he's like 9. 10?
He's 10.
He's 10.
Yeah.
So his teeth are a little gross, and I was a little worried about his teeth. So I said, can you look at his teeth? And the vet goes, yeah, look at his teeth, and so they take out this little thing, and they're cleaning his teeth, and he's like, the cat's like pissed as hell. Hissing and spitting at the vet. Oh man! So that was pretty quick. He dealt with the cat pretty quickly. We get the cat back in the carrier. We pick up Emmy, who can, she's kind of stumbling around like she's a little drunk because her back end's all numb, right?
Yeah.
And she's all right. Poor Emmy. She's just really a little out of it. She can't get in the car. I have to lift her into the car and all this other stuff. So Emmy's in some bad shape, and we get Michi in the car. We get home. Michi's the cat. We get home, and so we run upstairs. We get Emmy in her bed and let her relax because she's really out of it, and make sure Mole doesn't bother Emmy because they're used to horseplay, the two of them. So then we run a bath and put in some Aveda shampoo, right? Because I said to the vet, "What do I clean the cat with?" He said, "Oh, just human shampoo." So I figure, okay, well, Aveda's good enough for me. It's probably good enough for the cat. I'm sure someone out there is going to send us an email and say, "Oh my God, you should never put human shampoo on cats," and whatever.
Well, that's all we had.
That's all we had, and it worked fine. The cat's fine. Put some Aveda shampoo in there, get a nice warm bath running. So then we get the cat, we'll bring him in, put him in the bathroom, shut the door, and I just grab him out of the carrier by the scruff of his neck, because I don't know any other way to do it, and I just kind of lower him into the water nice and gently. But as I'm getting him out, I smell cat piss, because he's not only has he taken a dump on the way out, on the way home he pissed himself. Holy crap! It's like, okay, cat poop on the way out, cat pee on the way home. It's like number 2 on the way out, number 1 on the way home.
Yeah.
Get the cat. So we're gonna put him in the bath anyway. But so we get him in the bath, and
he was actually fine.
He was purring. He really liked it.
I can honestly say I've never had to wash cat ass before, but now I can say I've done it.
Now you've done everything, right?
Cleaned up the cat ass. So yeah.
So we washed the cat.
He was fine. He was sitting there purring the whole time.
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't. No, we took him out, and he was okay. I think he was just glad to be home.
He was glad to be back, and the first thing he did was ran in and ate. So that's a good side for our cat, because he likes to eat.
Really funny, because he's a big cat. Of course, if you've ever seen Wet Cat, they look hilarious.
His little tail was so funny. It was all wet. It was gross.
So he got all cleaned up. And now he smells like Wet Cat.
Yeah.
And Aveda.
So he smells kind of good.
Kind of good, kind of gross still.
All right, so we're done cleaning the cat up, and we think, whew, we're done, and this is like 4:30 or something, 5 o'clock. What time is it when that happens?
It was almost 5.
So that happens at 5, and then I come into where Emmy's laying in her bed, and she's like sitting there in her bed, and there's all this like drooly kind of yellow drooly stuff running down from her face, and she'd puked on her bed, because we were told not to give her anything to eat because she's still on the drugs from the surgery, but she drank some water. They told she could drink water, so we let her drink some water, but apparently she drank a little too much water. So she puked it all up, and whatever was in her stomach, up it came onto her bed. And she's just kind of sitting there like too drugged out to even give a shit. It's like running down her face. Oh, man.
Yeah, so then we had to clean up Emmy, clean up her bed.
Yep. Clean up Emmy, clean up her bed. And then the cat, he's not going to bother us anymore. And then Mole is, of course, crazy. Our dog is a little psychotic and neurotic. So he's running around like, whoa, what am I going to do? Oh, my God, I've been inside all day. Oh. And that's how he gets,
Yeah.
He gets like crazy, okay? Yeah. So, and it's great because I love him, and but sometimes he's just a little too crazy, So, anyway, we finally got around to taking him out. We took him in the woods for a walk. He was finally chilled out. He took a dump. So it was like a day of animal excretion here in the Torres household.
Yeah, it's thrilling.
It was very disgusting.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we saw fit to share that with all of you through the miracle of internet radio.
Well, anybody who has companion animals can definitely, I'm sure, sympathize.
Yes. So
they're just messy, but we love them.
We do indeed, and it's completely worth it. And
yeah.
Right now, Emmy is sleeping in her bed, looking very content. I can see her from here.
Mm-hmm.
Mole is probably downstairs destroying something.
Well, he's pacing because he's hungry.
Yeah, and Michi is back where he was before he went to the vet, in your chair.
On my chair. Getting it all wet now.
So that's why we don't have a totally together podcast for you this week, but some of you out there probably understand, and I imagine those of you that have kids, I mean, oh my God, right?
Geez.
You probably have days like this, and the kids are doing all the stuff too, right?
Yeah,
the kids
I'm sure,
are probably
but they do it probably daily. This is once in a while.
Yeah, it's true. I remember being a kid, and sometimes like my parents, See, in some families you call it, like if you puke in a car, it's selling the Buick or whatever. My parents, always having a good sense of taste in cars. Not. Sorry, Mom and Dad, but come on. A Pacer? My parents had a Pacer when I was a kid. And I remember being in the backseat of this Pacer. I was probably 8, something like that. And we're in the backseat of the Pacer. And I go, Mom, I think I'm going to be sick. All over the back seat. And, my parents, they didn't have the car all that long. And they tried to clean it out. They cut the carpet out. And they couldn't get rid of this, kid puke smell from me. So I made him sell the Pacer.
Lovely.
Yep. I was a cute kid. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, while we're talking about puke, when I was growing up, I had this friend, and this is why I couldn't eat beef stew even before I became vegetarian. I had this friend, and I was like this little kid. We were all coloring. I was having the best time. I was hanging out with my buddy, my buddy David. We were chilling. We're hanging out. We're coloring. I'm into it, grooving, coloring, yeah. And he's like, I gotta go home. I'm like, why? I'm having the best time. Don't go home. And I'm like, bounce something down. Whatever. And he's like, no, I really need to go. Boo! All over the table. And it was like beef stewy looking. So,
lovely.
To this day, I cannot eat beef stew. All right. I'm done now.
Neither can all of our listeners now.
Well, they're all vegans anyway, right? So.
So if you're not vegan yet, there you go.
If you're not vegan yet. I can eat seitan stew, though.
You can. That's good.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the real, I was going to say meat of the show.
Not vegan.
Oh, definitely not vegan.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Mole.
Oh, Mole's back. All right, I'm tired of talking. You talk now.
All right, so let's see. We got a couple things. First off, we have another thing from the New York Times that somebody sent in, and it's an article about organic dairies.
Oh, yeah.
But you were going to read that.
I was supposed to read this one, right? So it says here, survey ranks organicness at dairies. The Cornucopia Institute, a nonprofit agricultural policy research group in Cornucopia, Wisconsin, will release a report today, and this was on the 22nd of March, that ranks organic milk and dairy products based on federal organic standards as well as environmental and humane concerns. It is simply an analysis comparing the ethics and management practices of all organic name brand and private label dairy products, said Mark Castle, a founder of the group, last week. This is a tool to help consumers shop with firms that represent their values. Shoppers have come to expect that a container of milk bearing the organic seal meets certain standards, that the milk comes from cows nibbling in organic pastures, that the cows do not come in contact with pesticides and have never been treated with antibiotics or milk-producing hormones, and that if the cows if the cows are fed grain, it is organic grain. But dairy marketing organizations and certifying agencies interpret the rules differently, making some milk more organic than others, despite the regulations which the Department of Agriculture does little to enforce. There are producers selling organic products from cows that live with as many as 6,000 other animals and seldom see pasture, which fits the definition of a factory farm. There are farms where non-organic cows are brought in as replacements and where antibiotics and hormones are used. So, here it is, right in the New York Times. Mm-hmm. For those of you that think, I'm eating organic milk, it's good. No, wrong. Wrong. You're just plain wrong.
Yeah, so chances are it's coming from a factory farm, or at least some of it, because they pool it. It doesn't just come from one farm, it comes from a lot of farms.
And organic milk is definitely not vegan.
Not at all.
No way.
And you still have to kill the baby cows.
That's right.
The baby steer, I guess would be.
Indeed.
The baby calves. Hi, Mole.
Mole will not leave us alone now. No. I don't know why.
He needs attention.
So, anyway, this is a really good point because it drives home the reminder that, in fact, dairy production, like any other form of production, has to meet these certain kinds of profitability standards, and it will do what it must do to be profitable. So, you can think that you're doing all kinds of good for the world by consuming organic milk, but really, it's still milk. It still is produced, probably, likely, in a factory farm. The animals are still killed when they're not productive enough, and there's still fuel involved. Mm-hmm. So,
and it's still bad for the environment as well. If you have that many cows in one spot, it's going to be bad.
And this definitely gets the not-vegan seal.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm going to stop using that, though. I'm sorry. We need some more Satan in the podcast, perhaps.
We do. We have a request for it.
Yeah, I know. I just, it's like I have to hook up a different mixer to do Satan because of the processing effects, and it's like, I get real I'm, whatever. But we will get some Satan in there. So, organic milk, not good.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It really, the conclusion, the last sentence of the article, though, says, if you're worried about things like bovine growth hormone in your milk, organic is still better than conventional milk. Oh, yay. You know? But you're still killing animals, you selfish people, you. What?
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Well, it's like, come on. I mean, the whole thing is like, I'm going to eat organic because it's good for me, you know? I mean, like, the whole thing organic milk fails to realize is that animals are still being killed, you know what I mean? And no one realizes, I think people don't realize or don't think about it. I don't mean to offend anybody. But, you know, I don't know. Ya basta.
Okay. The next thing is we had set out a task for our listeners a week or two ago we had talked about a girl who was getting teased by her peers in high school, and we had basically said that kids are idiots at that age. And but we wanted to hear from you what kind of advice that you had, and we got some emails, we got some voicemails, which we're going to play later. But also a bunch of people on the forums gave some advice, and let's see. Just to sort of sum up, Vibronic says that I totally agree that this age sucks for guys in particular, if for no other reason that they are stuck right between adulthood and childhood. And Molly's trying to eat my paper. Molly, let go.
Our dog has a real love of paper.
He does. He loves to tear it to shreds.
After the podcast, if we don't pick up the papers off of our little podcasting table, he runs and grabs the papers off the table and takes off. And then by the time you catch him, all you hear is, it's like... That's all you hear. Oh, I just ripped up the paper I need.
You made him excited.
Oh, ball buster.
Great.
Shit, I need this paper.
Molly, stop.
I'll just print another. Oh my God. Here. I'll just give him one. Here.
Okay.
I know this is not what I should do for the dog, but here, take it. Go. Here, you can probably hear it now. Listen. All right, you keep going. I'm going to print another copy of that paper I just destroyed.
Good. Okay, anyway. Yeah. 15, 16-year-olds suck. They are because between adulthood and childhood. Too young to go out on their own, but too old for kid stuff. However, I have some absolutely wonderful students who I'm very proud of to be associated with and give very much of their time to outside causes such as service projects and whatnot. They are very responsible and caring people, and when they found out I was vegan, seemed genuinely interested in why I chose this way of life. I guess what I'm saying that is, this girl is reading this. Keep on living your life with integrity and honor the values that you hold dear. Although many guys suck ass, there are many boys your age out there who are kind and responsible and worthy of getting to know someone like you. Hang in there.
That's actually true. There are a lot of good guys out there.
That's true. I didn't mean to say that all guys were idiots.
I think I said that.
Oh, okay. And then we got a couple other responses. Blue Penguin says that you should put wee bits of tofu in their pizza.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. And then the other suggestions, basically half of them came down to... Molly tries to eat my papers. Once again, Molly comes down... Anyway, the advice comes down to...
Shit.
Half of people say, just ignore them. And half the people say, no, fight back. Not necessarily like physically fight, but stand up for yourself and everything. And people said that they've had success with both methods. It really depends on the kind of people that are bullying you. Sometimes if they ignore you, they keep doing it anyway. Other times if you ignore them, they'll stop.
But if you ignore them though, doesn't it just cut off what their drug is? I mean,
for some of them, unless they're particularly antagonistic.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the problem that one of our listeners had. Is one of our listeners had this problem where she would ignore the people who were bothering her. I can't stop laughing because of the stupid dog. Okay. She would ignore the people that were bothering her, but they would still continue to bother her, putting chicken bones in her seat and other things like that. And that's just horrible.
It is.
I mean, I guess, vegans are an easy target to pick on, right? And you assume, like, oh, they're not going to fight back or whatever.
Yeah, in fact, that somebody brings that up in one of the voicemails.
All right.
So,
are there other things from the forums you want to discuss?
No, because Molly just ate them.
Oh, God.
The dog ate my homework.
The dog ate my podcast. Okay, number 33 has been eaten by the dog.
Indeed. Not only have we been excreted on in numerous manners today.
I'm just, worn out.
I know, and I've got dog slobber on my pants now.
Okay, good.
So.
Well, how would that be any different than the norm?
I know.
So let's okay.
So yeah.
Let's keep
How
going.
about maybe we should play a song?
A song?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
did
here
you print out the
I did
lyrics
indeed.
this time?
This song is from. Well, let's see. What do we call him? Let's call him Disjunct.
Okay.
This song is from Disjunct on the forums, and he sends it here, and he says, "Hey there, Chief Freak." Wow, Chief Freak. I like that. Here's a song for consideration on the podcast. Stop letting me eat the paper. That's loud. All right. Listen to me. That's loud. Oh, like girly sounding. My voice is cracking. I'm going through puberty again. All right. Hey there, Chief Freak. Here's a song for consideration on the podcast. It's pretty fucking metal, which, in my opinion, will be a nice counterpoint to the punky, folky stuff. The band is Nasum, a Swedish grindcore band, and the song is called Fur. The lyrics are straightforward and not especially poetic, but English isn't their first language, so it's excusable. Poetic grindcore. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? What?
Oh, by the way, we should play next week. We have got a song in Swedish.
Indeed. And we will play
Somebody
it.
sent us, yeah.
And anyway, this one, the lyrics basically are, an industry sustained by our desire to inflict suffering on others. And of course, as their lives for leather, all for our fashion, you're taking their skin, you're taking their lives. You fat, rich, upper-class piece of shit, you bastard, strip and disappear. How would you feel to have your skin removed and seeing someone else treating it for clothes? Nasum was not a vegan band per se. They broke up in 2004 after their lead vocalist, guitarist, who wrote the above song, was killed in the 2004 tsunami while on vacation with his girlfriend.
Oh, man.
So this track comes from their end-of-career rarities collection grand finale late released last year. And so we're going to use that. Thanks for that, Disjunct. Much appreciated. And we'll let this roll. This, again, is Fur by, I presume you would say this Nasum or Nasum, which is a Swedish grindcore band. So if you don't like grindcore or Cookie Monster metal, now is probably the time to fast forward. All right, so there you go. That was Fur by Swedish grindcore band. And our dog is still being really, really, really annoying.
Now he's chewing on my chair.
Oh, sweet God.
But he's just being mole.
Yeah, you see, wasn't I just saying earlier he's kind of neurotic?
Mm-hmm.
And here he is being neurotic.
Mm-hmm.
He's been so good.
He hasn't had Emmy to play with. See, Emmy's been a really good influence on him
She
because
has.
whenever he wants to play, Emmy will play with him.
Anytime.
And they'll run around like crazy for a while and they'll
Yep.
wear each other out and they'll
Yep.
be tired. And then they'll get all worked up again later on and they'll run each around. And it was so cute. They played tug of war together
they
the
did.
other day.
And Emmy will also get up on top of the couch and jump down on Mole.
Yeah, she got the wrestling moves down.
She does. She's like WWW, well, what are we now? It's not WWF anymore. It's
I don't know what it is.
WCW or whatever.
I don't know what the hell it's called.
I'm sure I could just run out front and ask somebody. Around here,
Probably.
it's like NASCAR and wrestling. Okay. So, holy shit. Let's do voicemails. What do you think?
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
Time once again for some vegan freak voicemail. Maybe we'll hear from a hot chick.
Or a choice nail.
Callers make us happy and help us keep our sanity, even if all they wanna do is fucking complain about the shitload of profanity.
Okay. Well, we've got 4 voicemails this week, and 2 of them are very fun. Well, they're all very fun.
Yes.
But 2 of them are actually kind of funny.
Yes.
We'll roll this one first. This is Lindsay, or My Favorite Food is a Cube.
Hi, this is Lindsay. My favorite food is a cube on the forum. Because I know you have a lot of listeners named Lindsay. I'm calling in response to the last show when you talked about being made fun of for being a vegan and good ways to respond and stuff. I think, and since I pretty much get made fun of on a daily basis, thought I'd give some input. I think vegans are often thought of as weak individuals, not just physically but emotionally. I think people think that if someone isn't strong enough to hurt animals, not that hurting animals makes you strong or anything, people think that you'll be an easy target for bullying. I think the best thing to do is stay strong. Not necessarily fight back, but just kind of let them know that that's not cool. There are sometimes when it's kind of funny, like if it's more lighthearted, like a lot of people on the bus and stuff call me tree hugger and stuff like that.
I just want to stop here for a second and say something. Not all vegans are hippies.
It doesn't really bother me, I just laugh along. But if they take it too far, like, for example, if someone were to put meat in my food, I would just be really firm and be like, what the hell, that was really rude.
That is really rude.
And I think people usually respond to this, like, if this person's your friend, let them know that you mean it, and you're not going to let it go until you get an apology. I think most people don't realize how rude what they're doing is, so just letting them know. And if it's really serious, respond seriously and like you mean it, and I think you'll get your point across. But sometimes I find it amusing to just people's stupid comments and like joke around with them. So, alright, I hope that was helpful. Bye.
Excellent.
That was helpful. It was a very good explanation of your situation and of staying strong. I think that's good advice.
I think staying strong is really good advice. I think that sends the strongest message. I think nothing bothers people more than a vegan that is completely at ease with what they're doing. You know? Because, look, people want to imagine that you're miserable in doing what you're doing. It gives them... They want to think that you can't possibly be happy doing what you're doing as a vegan. And so they will do things to make you unhappy so that they can, in fact, fulfill their own ideas about what it means to be a vegan. But if you stay strong, you resist that shit, you can really be good. I mean, you can really prove them wrong.
Yeah, and like Lindsay said, that we're seen as weak, and they want us to be weak, and therefore they do things to make us look weak. So, like, they're making fun of us. So you're exactly right.
So anything else you want to say about that?
No, that's really cool. Thanks, Lindsay.
Let's move on to our next voicemail.
Hey, Bob and Jenna. This is Mike from the forums, or Mike as I'm known in my real life. I tried calling earlier, but the carbon monoxide alarm at work went off, and I got cut a little short. Anyways, just 3 things I wanted to comment on. I think it's true that the longer I'm vegan, the more I only want to hang out with other vegans, but that's kind of hard, seeing how I only know one other vegan. Don't get me wrong, I hang out with this guy all the time, but it does make it kind of hard for me because most of the people I really care about have this, like, one glaring element of idiocy in their life. And somebody called in about, being abused at school or in their private life for being vegan. And I think there's basically 2 ways to deal with this. And I'd like to preface this by saying I am, in fact, a crazy person, and I don't recommend anybody actually try this. However, the method that works for me the best, I like to call the pirate method, which involves if somebody insults you for being vegan, you headbutt them and then give them a savage pummeling with your fist. Now, like I said, I don't advocate doing this, but it works fairly well for me so far.
Not a bad idea.
The other method is the I don't give a fuck method, and I think this would probably work better for school-age children. No matter what anybody says to you or does to you, pretend like you don't give a fuck. Eventually, they'll give up. Don't give them pithy or snappy comebacks. Don't try and be fucking clever. Just act like you couldn't give a fuck less. And the other thing I wanted to comment on was the comment Bob had made about leftist organizations, bitching about who is more oppressed and blah, blah, blah.
Well, why don't we stop just for a second and talk about his points?
Yeah. I like the I don't give a fuck method. That's really good. It's like not exactly ignoring them, but just showing that you just, it doesn't bother me.
I'm too cool to give a crap about,
exactly.
about what you're saying. I like that idea a lot. Now, of course, we would never advocate violence here on Vegan Freak Radio.
Of course not.
Not at all. Interpersonal violence, bad. Very bad. Yep, definitely not vegan. Sorry, I had to do it again. All right, I will stop with that, really. No, but I like that idea. Just, you could care less, and hopefully that would help to diffuse it, All right, now let's move on to the other bit here.
Why they don't ever want to rally together to attack the system. And the problem is, in my opinion, that many of the large left-wing organizations in our country, like the ACLU or the NAACP or even the Anti-Defamation League, they depend on the system or especially the judicial system, for their power, they need the courts, they need laws, et cetera, and that's why they don't really address those issues. That was it. The sound quality's improved remarkably. You guys rule. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for that.
Hi, this is Mike from the forums again. I wanted to clarify one point, though. I realize the Anti-Defamation League isn't traditionally a left-wing group. When I was rattling those groups off, I was just thinking of organizations I had one time or another given money to. And Bob, can I get some Satan voice? What's going on, man? Thanks a lot. Bye.
Yeah, we will get Satan voice on soon, I swear. I just need to hook up another mixer to do it. So we will do that. And excellent points. Many of the left-wing groups and causes out there are as invested in the system as anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's a solid point.
Yeah, and sorry for the rough edit there, and Mike got cut off on the end of the voicemail, so that's why the word sounded short.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah, sorry.
No, but I think it's a good point. And the ADL actually has a lot of stuff on their site that is overtly against many animal rights causes. I've seen a lot of stuff there that they're very upset about. They have a lot of stuff. I think they have a big section on the Animal Liberation Front. Against the Animal Liberation Front, they have a big section about comparing the Holocaust and animal agriculture. So they have a lot of, they don't really like a lot of what's going on in the movement.
Yeah, and the NAACP also spoke out against PETA's campaign. They did the dreaded comparison one, comparing it to slavery.
I know people get upset by that, but I think that comparing these kinds of atrocities isn't necessarily that much of a problem.
Right, you're not saying the subjects of the atrocities are equal, you're saying that the methods which oppress the subjects of the atrocities is equal.
Exactly, and this is a point that's argued brilliantly in the Eternal Treblinka, in the Dreaded Comparison, and most recently in Karen Davis's most recent book.
Oh, yes.
Which actually...
The Holocaust and the Handmaid's Tale.
The Holocaust and the Handmaid's Tale, which was a very nice job looking at this comparison and kind of looking at the history of these comparisons, and it does a really, really good job. But excellent points there, Mike, and we will get some Satan voice at you soon. Thank you for the kind words on the sound quality. We've been working on it. And what else? Was there anything else there?
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Yeah, and Mike's been on our forums since pretty much our first day we opened them.
Yeah, he's been
way
there
back
since the beginning.
July of 2000, and what year was that?
5.
Thank you. I don't know, man. I'm just feeling a little out of it. So, yeah, way back in July 2005, Mike was one of the first people on there, and he still continues to post, and Mike's posts are always good. They're a lot like his voicemails. So I always look forward to reading them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but okay, now the next 2 voicemails, it was kind of funny because we got 2 drunk voicemails in one night. I don't know if they're related, but
I don't know.
But
maybe.
Yeah.
But
in the first one, it manages to stay pretty coherent, so here we go.
Hey. Yeah, it's Tofu Punk. I'm on my way home from New York City, heading back to Jersey, and I'm pretty fucking inebriated from helping out the Woodstock Farm Animal Sanctuary. Woohoo! Yay! So, great interview, by the way, with Jenny Brown, and thanks for the shout-out and all that good stuff. And so you don't have to be inebriated to help support the Woodstock Farm Animal Sanctuary. Once again, yeah, but it does help, John says. Go to woodstocksanctuary.org, and you can still help them out, even if you didn't live in New York City and couldn't get really sloshed and fucked up at the bar there. So, okay, I'm going to hang up before I say something regrettable. Bye, guys. Love you.
You should have said something regrettable. It would have been so much fun. We could have played on the air. We could have made fun of you. You didn't sound that bad, actually.
No, you sounded pretty good. That was pretty coherent.
Yeah, it was. And I think it's really important to support sanctuaries in general. I mean, we talked about those last week. But
Yeah, and apparently the fundraiser sounded pretty successful. But yeah, you can go to their website, and with any of the farm sanctuaries, they have a programs where you can adopt an animal, and it's not actually taking an animal home. Like you adopt from
I'll have a cow.
Yeah. Well, actually, you can. For some of the shelters, you can actually
take an animal home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you're approved, they don't just let anybody take the animals. But you can pay a certain fee per month depending on the animal. For example, a chicken is usually about $10 a month. And they'll take it right out of your credit card account. And so you can pay for the upkeep for one animal. And cows and pigs are more expensive. They're like $30 or $50 a month. So you can go do that, and they'll send you like pictures of your cows and chickens and whatnot. So
you can adopt a vegan podcast for $4 a month.
You can.
We'll send you pictures of your podcast if you want. Every month. I'm sorry. No, it's really important to support animal sanctuaries. I think it gives a lot of people direct interaction with animals they wouldn't otherwise have.
Yep.
And get to see that all of these animals are individuals.
Yeah, and I have the picture of our chicken that we adopted from the farm sanctuary in Watkins Glen. She's hanging up on my office wall.
I keep meaning to get to also do one at Woodstock as well.
Yeah, we should.
And keep forgetting. Now this email, voicemail.
This one's funny.
This one's pretty good. I like it.
I'm calling someone right now. I'm drunk dialing right now.
Are you not calling her?
I'm not calling.
Who are you calling?
Who am I calling?
Tell me. Just say it. Who are you calling?
Hey, Bob. How's it going?
That was it.
It's going really well, whoever you are.
So yeah. So even our voicemail theme is that good that it sticks in your head even when
you're
drunk.
267-295-1944. That jingle, man, it gets up there.
Yep.
There are mornings I'm walking to work and I'm going 267-295. Yeah, right up in my head, like, holy shit. I'm at work. I shouldn't be singing the voicemail jingle, but here I am singing it. If you want to drunk dial us, please feel free to do so. 267-295-1944. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to if you want to say something incriminating, please do.
There you go. We'll play it on the air.
Oh, we would love to play incriminating stuff on the air. And we certainly welcome funny voicemails if you have any, or serious ones as well. So, yeah, I think that's about it for the voicemails.
Indeed.
267-295-1944. Write the number down on your refrigerator door. Add the 001 country code if you call us from Vienna. That's how you leave a voicemail for good old Bob and Jenna.
All right. Now what? We got some emails,
We
right?
got some emails.
All right, let's go right to that.
You've got mail.
Okay, let's see here. Cialis? No, don't need that. Bigger bust size? No. Free iPod? Oh, it might do that. Oh, are you pleasing your woman? Well, you better ask her. Oh, well, what's this? Vegan Freak email? Vegan Freak email. Yes.
Okay, our first email comes from a listener named Chad. Chad wanted to tell us a story about this time he went to this place called Jason's Deli in Denton, Texas. Was kind enough to label their soup of the day as vegetarian vegetable soup. And my fiancé was shooting me a funny look when I proceeded to ask the woman taking our order if the vegetable soup of the day is vegetarian. The woman was very pleasant when she responded, "Yeah, oh no, let me ask, just to make sure." When she returned, we were informed, "Yeah, it's made with beef broth. No more Jason's Deli veggie potato."
Huh.
That's annoying. I hate it when they do that.
I do too, and that happens quite a lot. Although to label it vegetarian vegetable is really insane.
So the last time I checked, beef's not a vegetable.
Beef does not grow on trees.
But it's annoying because like Campbell's vegetarian vegetable is not. It's not vegan. It's vegetarian.
But they have a vegetable soup.
But they have a vegetable soup that has beef broth.
Right.
Yeah. Which
is whacked out. Why ruin perfectly good vegetables with dead stuff?
Yeah. Right.
Well, okay. Next email we have here is from Michelle Gunnett, I suppose is how you say it. Hi, Bob and Jenna. Love your show. I'm in the middle of listening to your latest. In fact, I got as far as the mad cow topping. I just had to write. You were talking about the prions being in the brain and spinal cord tissue, not the muscle, and immediately brought to mind an interview I heard a while back. I'd forgotten about it, but it was very compelling. While searching the internet for vegan radio shows before I discovered podcasts, I found archives for this short-lived vegan radio show called Vegan Rainbow, hosted by Mike Hudak and Bill Houston. During the February 23, 2004 show, they interviewed a whistleblowing slaughterhouse worker named Dave Luthen. He was the person responsible for actually killing the mad cow of December 2003, and he contradicts the USDA's claim that it was a downer cow. What really stuck in my mind was his graphic description of the butchering process, of sawing the cow apart and how you cut right down to the center of the backbone. There's hot water running all over everything, pieces of spinal cord, bone, etc., which creates a kind of slurry that will pretty much contaminate everything. My impression is that there is no way the BSE could be contained in any isolated parts of the cow. The entire interview is very interesting. I don't know how dated it is at this point, but I would guess that the butchering process is much the same. Anyway, I hope you can check it out. They also did a follow-up interview with him on March 15, 2004. Then the URL we'll put in the show notes, which she has here. Also, Go Vegan Texas 90.1 KPFT in Houston has done several shows on Mad Cow. I think that's where I heard that with the way the ground beef is processed, there can be parts of as many as 100 cows in a single hamburger.
Lovely.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Excellent.
So there you go.
Great update on the Mad Cow stuff.
Yeah, and given the way things work with slaughter, it's entirely possible that it would be spread all over the place. I mean, this is the problem with E. coli, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're processing, you're slaughtering a cow. Often the stomach contents are accidentally cut open and shit goes all over.
Yeah.
And that's how your shit gets into your burger.
Mm-hmm. Yum.
Yes, this show is. We should just name it the Excrement Show.
Yeah, really.
Number 33, the Excrement Show.
Maybe
that's what we'll do.
That's our title.
Although no one who would ever listen to it, the Excrement Show. Actually, the freaks out there, they would listen.
They would listen.
They would indeed.
That's why our listeners are freaks, and we like them.
But we love our freakies.
That's why we're freaks too. Okay, this one's from Pamela. I just started listening to your show a few weeks ago. Really great work. As someone who is trying to move from being a vegetarian to a committed vegan, your podcast is very supportive.
You can do it.
I hope so.
You can do it.
You can do it. It's easy. Just do it.
And if you do it, we get a toaster.
Yeah.
From the cult.
Right. I'm writing to let you and your Boston area listeners know that there is going to be an art show exploring vegetarianism as a theme at the JP Art Market in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. The opening is on April 8th, and here's a link, and we'll put the link in our show notes, jpartmarket.com. And so this person, Pamela, and her housemate, who happens to be from the same area that we are in right now, is submitting some of their work. So sounds like there's going to be a lot of different artists. Sounds like it's going to be a really good show. So if you're in the area, go check it out.
Excellent. I'm making a highlight of this little link right now, so we do not forget to include it in the show.
Brilliant idea.
And the dog didn't eat this paper. Not all the way.
Not all the way. Just took the corner.
Just the corner. It's like there's a shark swimming around our table just eating paper. It's like a paper shark. Okay. Have you ever noticed that cartoon bees are always Spanish speaking? In The Simpsons, he's a little Spanish bee.
They are.
And there is a commercial for that Nasonex. He is a Spanish bee.
Yeah, you're right.
See?
I don't know. Why are bees Spanish?
Why are bees always Latino?
I don't know.
I do not know either. Okay, yeah. Okay, this one's from Jillian. And she says, at my high school, I started a 1,000 signature petition trying to get vegan food in our cafeteria. When I started, everyone wanted to sign, or at least signed anyway, just out of respect. Then I came across a girl I knew who went vegetarian to make a vegetarian boy want to date her, and I asked her to sign the petition. Can I just say something here? Going vegetarian or vegan for somebody else, dumb idea.
Yeah.
Immediately. What a bad idea.
Yeah, you're just not going to stick with it.
You're absolutely not. Why? Maybe you will, but you need to do it for your own reasons, you know? And I don't mean just for your own reasons, like selfishly. I mean, like, you need to know why you're doing it, and that needs to be driving you, not somebody else.
Yeah, so somebody else might give you the idea. Like, for example, you might be dating someone that is vegan and then want to go vegan because that person is. But until you learn, like you just said, learn the reasons why, you're never going to want to do it for yourself either.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, anyway, so she asked this girl, the vegetarian who became vegetarian for a boy she liked, just to sign the petition. She refused to sign because she thinks that veganism and vegetarianism is a, quote, fad. And she told all her friends not to sign. What a bitch, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. Totally. This coming from the girl who went vegetarian just to impress a boy. Grr, she made me so mad. Totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Okay. So, sorry. It's just like every so often in class I get this like, do we like totally have to write this paper? I'm like, yeah, you like totally do. Okay. Sorry. Not that Jillian's like that, but sorry. On the other hand, in the first day, me and my accomplices, 2 other girls, 1 vegan and 1 vegetarian, collected 266 signatures. We decided to also get our vegan friends at the other schools in our county to join in on the petition, and we were taking it to a school board meeting along with a few other materials to help persuade them to add vegan items to the menu. Excellent way to do outreach. Good way to go out.
Definitely.
Get all these people sign it, take it to the school board, present it, make your case very clearly. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and even if people aren't vegan, a lot of people want to eat something better than what's in the cafeteria already.
Yeah, right.
Something healthier.
You don't have to be a vegan necessarily to not want to eat tater tots and hamburgers.
I know. I'm surprised I'm not dead for all the cafeteria food I ate in high school.
See,
It was disgusting.
I didn't eat that much cafeteria food. My Yeah, my mom usually made lunch for me, I think, until like probably middle of high school. She was very sweet about that.
That's cool.
So, because, I was like if my mom hadn't made me lunch, I probably wouldn't have eaten. So my mom always went out of her way to make me lunch. She didn't do like these, Mama Schmoo lunches. I got peanut butter and jelly mostly, but So, and I'm not complaining because it was amazing for my mom, as busy as she is, as many hours as she works, as all the stuff that she does, that I got lunch, that she made me lunch. That was always really sweet of her.
Cool.
So, anyway, she says here, I hope that other schools around the country will have the same courage and get their schools serve vegan food, because the life of a high school vegan tends to suck when you forget to pack a lunch.
Indeed.
But what a great point. I mean, even though we interrupted it 8 million times, the basic point there that she has is that, look, all it takes is one or two people, even if you have these bitchy people who go vegan or vegetarian just for their friends, but there are other people out there who really want to do this. You can get a bunch of people together, you can sign a petition and take it to your school board. And it's something that simple can really make a big difference in the lives of people who are going to be vegan or vegetarian.
Indeed.
It's something that simple can really be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jillian deserves a lot of credit for that.
Definitely. Way to go.
Absolutely. And I hope that many of you out there will do the same thing.
I agree.
I've been trying to get our school cafeteria, our university cafeteria, to carry more vegan food, and it's been mixed success.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at times, as I complain, it gets better, and then sometimes it gets worse. But they usually have something.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. I have to eat there again this week. So, lucky Eric Marcus, that's where I'm taking him for dinner.
Because that's the only place around here that's going to have vegan food. Really.
Exactly, right? It's the only thing around where we live that's going to be vegan or even remotely vegan. Another email, or are we?
Yep. Well, one more.
Okay.
This one comes from Sarah. She says, "Hi, Bob and Jen. I feel like you're my old friends because I listen to you every week, but obviously you don't know me. I live in Japan, but I come from New Zealand. I sometimes lament the fact that I come from a country where animal products are such a big part of the economy. School students are allowed to eat junk food at school. Obesity is rife, and on TV there are constant ridiculous ads with messages such as, quote, you will get tired if you don't eat red meat, unquote, and your baby's brain won't develop properly unless it eats meat." That's great.
I like that one.
Yeah. So, sounds like the U.S. too, so... So such was my surprise when I listened to an interview on National Radio today. National Radio is New Zealand's state radio station, with a person pretty much advocating veganism. He was a professor from a university in America, so he must have been right, too. Just seems to be that way in New Zealand. If you're from another country and speak English as your first language, you have some magical authority. The guy's name was Dr. Paul Lachance, and he was professor of food science at Rutgers University. He was talking about how the food pyramid should be changed around, good idea, and even used the V word twice. Interestingly, he put stress on the second half of the word, vegan.
Vegan.
Or is it vegan?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hate vegan.
I know. No, it's not right. She wonders if there's an American dialectical difference. It's vegan.
Yeah, listen to us, man. What do we say? We say vegan.
No, it's just people who don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, she said if you're interested in listening, she gave us the link, and we can put that link, too, in our show notes. And it sounds like a really interesting listen.
Absolutely. We will put that in the show notes. I'm
cool.
highlighting the link right now.
Yeah, so thank you for everybody who sent us all these links for things to listen to and read, and we really appreciate it.
We do. And as I said, we are sometimes behind on our emails, so we will usually get to them and get back to you. So we appreciate it. It's great to hear from all of you.
Definitely.
Drop the phone, it'll take you a tenner. Send an email to Bob and Jenna.
One of our listeners, Claire, actually wrote to me and told me she had some really funny, she had these funny things that she thought the lyrics for that song were saying.
Yeah.
And I should try to grab them real quick because they're really funny.
Okay. All right. Well, we managed to get through the rest of our show there without the dog destroying anything.
Yeah, it was a little rough, though. He's going a little bonkers.
Yeah, I think he's hungry, so we're going to have to end the show soon to feed him.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And Emmy's sleeping. She's a sweetie. She's sleeping off her drugs and for after surgery. But until Bob finds those things, let me remind you all that it is a new month, and therefore you should go vote for us at Podcast Alley, and we will put another link for that in our show notes as well. Because the votes get reset every month. So beginning of new month, we want to get back to our rank, which ended up being pretty good last month. And you can, if you want to get in touch with us, as you heard throughout the show, you can get in touch with us via voicemail, 267-295-1944. You can write to us, podcast@veganfreak.com.
And that goes to both of us.
Yes, and you can check out our website, podcast.veganfreak.com, where we'll have all our show notes, the links that we mentioned throughout the show, and you can get all our archived editions, which you cannot get on iTunes anymore. You can get the only 12 now through iTunes.
But it's the newest 12.
The newest 12.
Right.
You can get through iTunes, but if you want anything older than that, you got to go to our website, and there you go.
Okay, so from the email theme song, the things that Claire thought it was said, let me give you the first one. She thought it was saying that little bit at the end. Drop the phone and I'll sing you a dance. Several emails with Bob and Jenna. And the second one, drop the phone and I'll save your antenna. 7 emails to Bob and Jenna.
Hey, antenna does rhyme with Jenna. There you go.
There you go.
We're finding new words that rhyme with Jenna.
I remember Veg had telling us when he was doing the theme songs, he had a hard time finding things that rhyme with Jenna.
Yes, so he came up with Vienna.
Vienna, yeah. But
which actually put us in touch with a vegan from Vienna. So if you
way
listen
back
to listen to one of the back shows.
Yes, some Vegan Freak trivia. You may remember what show. Yes, and what his name was.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry for the crazy ass show this week.
Oh, man.
What a crazy day.
And we might actually clock in around an hour this week.
We're going to be about an hour.
Yeah.
You know.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Next week we'll have Dino.
Yep.
I don't know.
And we'll remember to do the theme song this week. We forgot it last week.
Oh, the Dino theme song.
Yeah,
right.
the Dino
My
theme
bad.
song, we forgot.
Yeah, I suck. So I don't know. We will have Dino next week. We have a question for Sarah Kramer we never have gotten on the show yet.
Yeah, and
we'll get there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're going out of town again next weekend, so maybe we'll have some things on the road. Who knows?
Oh, we will. We're going to Philly.
Yep, we're going to Philly.
We're going to Philly. Can't wait to eat.
Yeah, I'm going to a conference, non-vegan related.
I'm just going to sit around on my laptop and play and eat good food, do all kinds of crazy stuff.
I got to go give a talk, so.
Yeah, but you're smart.
We'll see.
You are. You're smart.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you definitely are. So we're going to Philly, having a good time there, and I don't know. Next week's podcast may be a little late. So.
Yeah, because we're not going to be back till late Sunday, so.
Yep, and we're always behind. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening. We appreciate it. And don't forget you can subscribe at podcast.veganfreak.com. Helps us with equipment.
Yep.
Quite a lot. Thanks for listening. And I'm sorry for all the disgusting stories on the show about puke, piss, shit, and other excretory things. So,
yeah. Thanks for listening again.
And we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Precious God,